name is Jasmine McDonald. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I post ballet and fitness related videos every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And if you're also new here, you may as well hit that subscribe button because you're already here anyways. Without further ado, let's get into today's video, which is a highly requested video as of late. You guys, I know, are either aspiring ballet dancers or soon-to-be ballet teachers, so congratulations if you clicked on this video and you are a newly hired ballet teacher. Welcome to the job. It is such a fulfilling job. If you're not familiar with my face, I used to be a professional ballerina. Yes, that's me on stage. I used to be a professional ballerina, and I am recently turned into a certified personal trainer, certified nutritionist, certified sports nutritionist, and dance coach, and I'm also an online dance teacher as well as an in-person dance instructor at various dance studios. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Most highly requested question you guys have for me is, how do you teach young kids dance? I know it is actually one of the most daunting things to do because who remembers the last time you were a little kid? Not me. I have like very scarce memories of when I was a kid. For the most part, we don't remember what we did as kids, so it's always the most daunting to go into your first class as a new teacher, being a young level. For the purpose of today's video, splitting the age groups in half, so I'm going to be starting with ages 3 to about 5 and then ages 6 to 8. I'll have 4 tips for you guys within this video. I'll put timestamps down below as well because I value how much time you want to spend on this video, and I know we all have busy lives. So without further ado, let's get into it. My first tip for young kids is to make it as interactive as you possibly can. Now, one of the only things I do remember being a kid is that I love games. I love playing games. I love being interactive with games, not only computer games or outside games with friends, but also dance games. That being said, you don't want to make the whole class just a huge game. You still want to keep the game special, but try to be interactive. Ask the kids, where are we going to fly to today? Maybe instead of creating a dance and instructing them a choreography, have them put together some pieces as well. You can also ask them to be the teacher and to correct you. I know I use this technique all the time. I will do a step such as a plie and I'll stick up my tush and I'll ask the kids, okay, give me a correction. Now we're gonna switch roles. I'm gonna be the student. You guys are all the teachers, and I'll go one by one by one by one, and they're gonna roast me. They love doing that too. They love being the teachers. Kind of gives them a sense of control and lets them be interactive with you, which is what we're all about in learning. We want to keep learning as interactive and as fun as we can at this age. Now, for 4 to 6-year-olds, it's also really important to use their names and really learn their names. That's another really important tip I want to drill into your head if you're watching this and you're a brand new ballet teacher. Learn their names. It's a psychological technique to keep people engaged in conversation, and it really, really, really helps with young children, because if you just say, in general, you all could do this, you all could do that. Use their names without calling out a student directly. Use their names like, oh, Sophie, for example, you're going to do this across the floor. And then Rebecca, you're gonna do it. Just use their names throughout the class. That keeps it interactive, and that really lets them know that you care about them. Tip number 2, be playful and be creative. Like I said before, little kids love to play games. Don't we all? Even though I said don't make the whole class a game, try to incorporate a game if you can every class. I get away with this with teacher says. For little kids, they love this. Instead of Simon says, you say teacher says, and you don't tell them what the step is except for the term. That's a really great way you can teach them the terms, and it actually resonates with them too, because it's not only learning actual ballet terms from a glossary, but it is also interactive and fun for them. So they're mentally there. Another game I love to do is copycat. You will do a step such as a grand battement, you'll kick your leg, and then they have to copy you. You can also switch that up to be even more interactive. You can do it in a huge circle. I'll go one, and then so-and-so goes next and she has to copy me, and then it continues on a line like that. So every kid has a chance to be the leader. You can also try to be playful with technique. You know, you can say, I want you guys to imagine that there's bunnies hopping through your legs in plie. So you don't want your plie to be too little, but you also want to make sure that your knees are over your toes, like you're covering them from rain as if there were umbrellas on your knees. Something like that. Be imaginative, be creative with little ones. because the only way that technique resonates with them is if it is playful and fun. You can also do a shadow game where there's a leader in the front and they have to go across the room and do some ballet steps and everybody has to follow them in a line. That's what I mean with games. You don't have to make it a whole game day. If you incorporate one dance game that helps with not only their technique but the terminology, because that's really important at this age as well, to try to introduce terms at a reasonable rate without overloading them with grand battement, tendu, all these crazy terms. This is a really great way to do that. Third tip, I love this tip. Honestly, it's so underrated. Use props and use tools. Even if you don't have crazy expensive toys for ballet specifically that you order off of, I don't know, Dance Word Plus, whatever it is, you can use pretty much anything in the studio that you can find. I've used rollers before. I've asked them to try to jump up and over it. I've used hula hoops, you can get at Dollarama. You can use scarves, feathers to show them the difference of landing a jump. You can have them use the scarves to move with their port-a-bras to not make it throw everywhere. You can also use stickers. I love using this one, and I remember I used this a lot of the time online because this was something really easy. Most kids have at home, so if you are teaching online, this is a really great way to keep them attentive. So you put little stickers on their heels and you say to them, oh, I want you to show me your stickers, because at this age they're not going to register turnout. They're not going to know what turnout means and all these muscle groups. They're not going to understand that, and they don't have muscle memory yet. So if you tell them, show your stickers every time, that will build that muscle memory and also make it fun, because why wouldn't you want to show sparkly star stickers or little smiley face stickers on your heels? You can also put them on your knees, on your hips. I like to play red light, green light too, and make sure that our hips are facing forward like a car, and that's another fun way to keep them moving, keep it interactive. You can switch out red light, green light. If red light is stop, of course, but you can stop in the fifth on O. Green light can be skipping, orange light or yellow light can be ballerina walks. There's a lot of different ways to make it not only interactive, but you can also incorporate props with a lot of these things. And using tools such as stickers, scarves, that's a really, really fun way to keep the kids engaged and keep them excited about going to dance. There's nothing worse than hearing a kid say, I don't want to do this, it's too hard. You want to keep it fun and light while still teaching them basic ballet technique and terms. Last and final tip is to organize and structure lesson plans while keeping it simple. So I know 99% of the time when I go into a new class, I write out my lesson plan, I organize the term, the curriculum, and I go in and the class either is way past what I already organized or we're not quite there yet. So what I recommend is to go in there on the first day to make it fun and interactive, do a lot of name games, a lot of fun activities to learn everybody's names, like I said before, to introduce some terms, kind of assess the level, and then after that, build and organize your lesson plan and your curriculum based on the level of which the students are at in that present moment. We always want to help them reach their full potential, of course. We also want to be realistic. So if you create a lesson plan that's way too ambitious for these little kids, you're just going to be disappointed. So go in with open eyes, open heart, and an open mind in the very first day, and then build your lesson plan. In my lesson plan, I always like to keep goals for terms. So maybe in the first term, it's just learning at least 3 specific ballet terms. So plie, tendu, and rondingeon, something like that. And not only just to learn it, but help them understand it. So that could be one goal. Another goal could be to start a dance to help with that memory work, right? I like to throw a dance in every holiday or at the end of the month, especially for little kids because they enjoy it so much, but they can't remember it all the time. So it's fun to throw it in here and there. It's good practice for their memory and for picking up exercises at that age. Nice thing about kids joining ballet so young is it's a perfect introductory to learning discipline. So I know all of the girls and boys that went to dance class with me are so well behaved that went to the dance school I grew up in because our teacher taught us discipline. You had to bow and curtsy at the end of class. It was really, really courteous in the class. You couldn't just hang on the bar and chat. You showed up like you were a professional, even at a young age. That being said, you don't have to be militant on them, but do remind them when we do reverence is to thank the audience, thank the teacher, and thank you for dancing because we had a lot of fun today. So So don't skip out on discipline, even though you want to make it fun. Building good habits, not only with the teacher, but with their peers, right? Again, always keep your ears open to what's going on in the studio. If there's one kid that's a little bit behind, try to encourage them extra. Some kids will be loud and proud, and also encourage them, but make sure that everybody's getting the same amount of attention as they deserve. Now for ages 6 to 8, the same 4 tips pretty much applies, just a little bit different because this group's a little bit older. They're starting to recognize muscle memory. They're starting to recognize a lot of the rules a little bit more and remember the terms, and also realize the importance of structure. So the first tip is also be interactive with these ones. Just because they aren't little kids, they still like to play. So as often as you can, ask them, okay, we're going to switch roles for a second. I'm going to be the student, you be the teacher. Or what I also love to do with this age group, put them in partners. Kids love to work in partners because they love working with their friends. That also creates a friendship in the class, which if you were in a dance studio, what was the best part about being a dance studio other than learning to do what you love? Absolutely making friends. So put them in groups, ask them to look at their peers to give them one correction and tell them one thing that they did really well. Second tip, still use creativity in this class. You know, just because again, they're not little kids, maybe they don't want to play with scarves all the time, they still want to be creative, make up dances. At this age, I like to do it once a month, either teach them a variation or ask them to help out with choreography. You know, I'll give one count of 8 and then so-and-so gives a count of 8, and we kind of switch each and every time. And that's a really fun way to be creative. Another thing I love to do with this age group is because they are so visualistic and creative in their minds, you know, their brains are developing immensely at this age. I like to ask things like, okay, what if I were to do this step to this music and I'll play a slow song? And then I'll do the same step to a fast song and ask them to do it from across the floor with slow, across the floor with fast, and then after that I like to build on it and ask them, okay, how does that make you feel? Not only how does it make you feel, how do you see this? What are you doing when you're doing this step across the floor when it's slow? What color are you? Are you a blue color? Are you doing it melancholic? Are you doing it really excited and happy when it's fast? Play with musicality a lot with this age group because there's so much room for exploration with creativity at this age. So absolutely play with musicality, play with visualization, colors, those kinds of techniques. They really respond well to that. So absolutely keep it creative. For tips, still use props and tools. I always use props and tools with whatever age group, even if they're teenagers, especially this age group, they don't really need the stickers as much. I still like to use them occasionally, but things like putting something in the middle of the room, they have to jump over it, or using a feather to be really quiet, or holding a basket of fruit or a basket of, or a teddy bear, something soft ideally that doesn't smash all over the ground and make a mess. Holding it so they have a really nice épaulement, nice open shoulders. I use a broom sometimes and ask them to hold the broom underneath their arms when they're in Alicicon to make sure they're not drooping. Use props, be creative in that sense. Tip number 4 is keep it simple and ask them questions. Especially at this age, it's really important to encourage them to speak up, to be creative, to still follow rules and have discipline, but also to speak for themselves, especially at this age. Ask them what their favorite step is. Ask them what they want to work on. They love to give you input as well. Overall, with this age group, be open-minded, open-hearted. Keep your eyes and ears open during class. Keep it creative, keep it light, but still have a structure when you go in. That being said, doesn't have to be like every other teacher. You don't have to do the exact same things as me. Here are just a few ideas. Make it your own, and that's the way you're going to enjoy it. Your class is going to enjoy it. Your students are going to enjoy it, and everybody's going to enjoy it. Let me know if this helped. Comment down below what you want to see next, and if you like any of these tips or you do these games already, also comment down below if you have any extra tips that helped you. We're all in a huge community here that should be helping one another, and we always appreciate input. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and bye.